wanted me to be a color commentator, and I'm like, Dusty, I don't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch. He's like, don't worry about it, kid. Gordon Foley gonna walk you through it all.
Rewind, recap, relive. For over 50 episodes, the revolutionary force in wrestling interview.
Well, we're right off the heels of the Royal Rumble. I think everyone saw that you were able to be part of something so cool, be there so close to the action with Cody Rhodes, who I know you're very close with as well. And I was just wanted to know what that experience was like. What did that mean to you being there so close to Cody after a big win?
Well, you really to really understand what it means to me. You got to know where we've been, because without this guy right here, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. This is a shot of me and Dream in 1989 when I'm working for Florida Championship Wrestling. This is what they gave you if you were at his memorial. In this picture, someone gave me, and Dusty had signed the back of it.
Oh my God.
So you got to know that without Dusty Rhodes, there is no Diamond Dallas Page. Like, I got my first break in the AWA. I made that happen. Like, it was preordained, and it's God's work how that actually came together. Because I literally put three guys together who look like wrestlers, and I was their manager, and I made up a videotape and I sent it to the AWA. And 2 weeks later, they called me and said, we want to bring you and your boys in for a tryout. But everybody likes your shtick, but no one's ever heard of you. Where are you guys working at? Well, Rob, but none of those guys can actually wrestle. What? Why would you send me to take? And don't call us, we'll call you. But what happened is a guy named Paulie Dangerously, aka Paul Heyman, left the AWA, left a huge void for a guy that could talk, and that's how I got my first, gig, and because they needed a new young guy that could talk. And then Florida Championship Wrestling happened. And I'm still running my nightclub in Florida because I'm not making any money. Like, it cost me money to be Diamond Dallas Page those first 3.5 years. And Dusty and I got really, he just really loved my energy. And when I first met him, it was so surreal. I'm in the room with Gordon Soley, Steve Kern, who I just saw at the Rumble, and Mike Graham. And we were at, where Graham started everything. That's where Dusty learned booking. Eddie Graham pulled him in and took him under his wing because he realized he just wasn't a pretty face. That they really knew the business from the inside out. And Eddie Graham taught him everything. And Dusty taught me so much. He wanted me to be a color commentator. And I'm like, Dusty, I don't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch. He's like, don't worry about it, kid. Gordon Foley gonna walk you through it all. So I became a color commentator and a manager. And then Dusty finally had to leave because the territory wasn't popping like it was just 4 or 5 years before. And he went back, and Vince McMahon put polka dots on John Wayne meets Elvis Presley. Like, that was a total rib, but Dusty got it over because that's how good he was.
He owned it.
And Vince really did love Dusty, but it was, Dusty wanted to compete with him, and whether it was the NWA or whether it was BWCW, because he wanted his creativity, he needed to express it. Dusty brought me in from Florida Championship Wrestling. Then he brought me into WCW 3.5 years later. So my bond with him was so strong.
Rewind, recap, relive. For over 50 episodes, the revolutionary force in wrestling interview.